welcome. We are making these super cute heart cakelets today. And before we dive in, here are some of the things that you'll need to make the heart cakelets, including a heart-shaped cookie cutter and a jelly roll pan. To start, we're going to split the batter evenly between 4 bowls, which includes the bowl that you use to make your batter. This does not have to be precise, but if you want to be precise, you can certainly use a kitchen scale. One of the 4 bowls are going to be left white, and we are not going to color that one. Grab 3 spatulas, 1 for each color. If you don't have 3, that's fine. You can just clean one off every time you use it. To color the batter, we're going to use 2 colors, pink and purple. And the pink one is going to be used to create 2 colors of pink, which is a dark pink and a light pink. Anytime I'm making 2 shades of the same color, I always like to start with the darker color first. I always find it easier to create the lighter shade using the darker shade and keeping the same tone. Also, the recipe that I use is actually a Duncan Hines white cake mix. I love using their cake mix. It always tastes delicious and comes out great. And once that's all mixed up, just take a little bit of that color and add it to a bowl of uncolored batter. This part of the process is always to preference, so if you want more coloring, you can certainly add a drop or 2. Always keep in mind when you're coloring batter or frosting that it's easier to add coloring and it's much harder to reverse it if you add too much. And next we'll add our purple. Now this set of gel food coloring that I'm using is from AmeriColor, and it is the electric coloring set. So they're basically all neon colors and they give you a nice vibrant tone. Now these colors are great to use, but they do create a much brighter color like I said, so if you want to tone it down, just add in a little bit of blue to get a much deeper purple color. So now you should have a purple batter, a light pink batter, dark pink, and white. So this part of the process, we're going to add each of those batters into a piping bag. I always find it easier to use a tall cup to put my piping bag in because it does all of the work for me. So go ahead and add each of your batters into a piping bag. The piping bags that I'm using are from Ateco, and they are 18 inches. I get them on Amazon. They come in a pack of 100 for about $15. 18 inches is large, so if you don't need that much space, just cut off the excess. Unlike frosting, when you remove the piping bag from the cup, the batter is going to run right to the bottom, so you don't have to worry about removing any of the air bubbles. And to make sure we don't get any batter leaking out of the top, we're just going to twist the top and secure it with a rubber band. If you don't have a rubber band handy, that's totally fine. You can try to tie the top or just be very careful so that it doesn't spill out. So just remember that this is just the way that I chose to create my cakelets in terms of color, but you can definitely create your own color palette that you think would look great for the cakelets. There are so many great color palettes for Valentine's Day. It's such a great holiday for creating treats and making them super pretty. Okay, so now all of our batter piping bags are ready, and now we can prep our jelly roll pan. Just line it with some parchment paper and spray it with some cooking spray. If you have shortening, you can wipe the sides with shortening as well. So we're ready to add the batter to the pan, so now we'll take each of those piping bags and snip off the top, creating just a small opening. For this design, I'm going to add in the batter in a diagonal line pattern. Now this part is totally up to you. You can certainly create any type of lines that you'd like, and you can add in the colors as you like as well. I'm choosing an alternating pattern. After you're done making the lines, you can get fancy if you want and use a toothpick and just do zigzag patterns and just kind of blend them together. That would look super cool. I didn't do that here, but that would definitely be a cute look also. Also, be prepared. This is a very messy process, so don't be afraid to make a mess. Okay, so we made it. We added all of our colors. Now give the pan a tap to get out the air bubbles and bake. Once your cake is done, place it on a kitchen towel and just run a knife along the side of the pan to release the sides. So here I actually tried to flip the cake out and turn it over, but it ended up just sliding out, which is totally fine. But you'll want to end up flipping it over to the other side so you can remove the other parchment paper. And try to remove it as carefully as possible so you're not bringing up any cake with it. Okay, so here is where I took a deep breath and I'm ready to go. So now I grab my heart cookie cutter and now I can start making my cakelets. And be sure to do it in a way where you can maximize the amount that you can get, and you should be able to get about 15. Just use a fork or some type of spatula and try to lift it off of the pan, and now you'll see this beautiful cakelet. This is definitely a process, but I promise it's worth it. Let's move on to fitting our piping bag with a 1M piping tip. To do this, we're just going to drop the piping tip into a piping bag so that it moves all the way down to the bottom. Using a pair of scissors, just score the bag exactly where you want to cut it, which is just below the opening of the tip. This method has never failed me and I've never had a tip pop out. And just like with the batter, we're going to use a tall glass to fit our piping bag into so we can add in our frosting. Because we have such colorful cakelets, I chose to use a white buttercream, but of course you can certainly color it if you choose to. Once you've got your frosting added, just pull the bag out and start to guide the frosting down towards the tip, focusing on removing the air bubbles. Twist the bag at the top to secure it and start to add pressure so that the rest of the frosting moves down. The bag should be sitting between your thumb and your forefinger, and that is the proper way to hold the bag. For these cakelets, we're going to stack 3 together. So we're going to add 1M drop stars in the middle of each layer, which gives a nice layered look. You can certainly just leave the cakelets as a 1-layer treat. That would definitely look cute as well. To top off the cakelet, I'm going to dust on some silver edible glitter with a paintbrush. So I just dip it in and then dust it on. And finally, I'm just going to add some pink sprinkles, or any Valentine's Day color will look really cute on this. These particular sprinkles are from Sprinkle Pop, and definitely go check them out if you're interested in getting a Valentine's Day sprinkle theme. They have a great new collection. So I'm just going to slightly speed this up and just show you how I decorated another one so you can kind of see it a little better. I absolutely love the cakelet option. It's a really easy way to decorate a treat. It's a really fun alternative to making a cupcake, and it's a really cute, adorable treat. If you're bringing these to a little Valentine's Day gathering with your friends or for work, just add these to a cute treat box and they will be a super cute addition to your party. So again, this recipe will make you about 15 cakelets, and if you're stacking them like I did, you should get about 5. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the class, and I cannot wait to see how yours came out. So please tag me on Instagram and DM me if you have any questions at all.